The house for Mardi Gras. The house for Mardi Gras. I don't think we did too bad. It looks really cool. Yay! The Mardi Gras colors. Hello, everyone. Today is, it is March the 1st. We have made it to March. And, yeah, this is Into the Gale video. So, first time doing this video for the month of March. I'm excited because today is the Elimination Chamber. So I got my CM Punk shirt on, since he's one of the guys that's in that particular show. And I'm really looking forward to that. So there you go. My CM Punk. Really looking forward to the Elimination Chamber. It sounds like it's going to be a very, very fun night. And then tomorrow is the Oscars, so we'll be watching it as well. So, yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun watching some stuff this weekend. Also, we got some stuff to try out. So, yeah. Then I'll show you as I walk around the room. But I have to wait to try them until Angela gets home. But I will do one taste test on this video, so be on the lookout for that. I'm going to try some new Cheez-Its. So there you go. So to start off with, we're just going to say we're getting ready for Mardi Gras, of course, as you can see behind me. And the outside is ready for Mardi Gras as well. Even have the lights on at night for Mardi Gras. So really cool. Weather is getting warmer here. We don't have snow this week. We've been in the 50s and the 60s. So it's still been dipping down into the 30s at night. But hey, it's 50, 60 degree weather during the day. I can't complain. I can, but, you know, for the month of March, that's not too bad. I'll take it. Take what you can get. Plus, month of March brings in kite weather, so I'll probably be getting a kite soon. So I can do some kite flying, and might do that when I get my groceries this upcoming Friday. But, yeah, so looking forward to that. And then, I don't know if you've noticed, but I got some of my spring cleaning done. So, I don't know if you can tell with that top shelf or not, but I cleaned all of the top shelf in this room. And the top shelf in a couple of the other rooms as well. Got a couple of those shelves that I normally don't get. So, did some thorough cleaning. I still got some things to do yet. I did wash a couple of the curtains, but I still gotta get the curtains in this room and the spare bedroom and the kitchen. So, but spring cleaning has definitely begun. It has started getting things ready for the warmer weather. And also, that being said, I went back to my allergy medicine because, again, change of the weather and the pollen coming back and everything else. So with that comes allergy medicine. But that's all right. I will take it because I like the nice warm weather. So I'm definitely looking forward to wearing shorts again. But to start off with, as we get into it, first off, before I get into this part, which I normally do, I want to go ahead and just get caught up on these. So first off, we're going to get caught up on the questions of the day. We're just going to throw it all into one video. First time I've done this, so yeah, let's just do it. So we got the black book. I got yesterday's and today's. I didn't do any yesterday simply because I worked. I did some overtime yesterday, not for very long, but once I got home, I did overtime from like 5:30 to 9, so, which isn't a lot of overtime, but hey, I'll take it. You know what I mean? I volunteered. I would have went longer. I would have went longer yesterday on the overtime, but I had stuff to do around here. So as soon as I get home, Angela and I took off to go get our taxes done, and after we did that, we took off. We came here, ate some lunch, and then took off again to Sedalia to get some stuff done with one of the banks so that way we know where we're at financially if we decide to go buy a house. So we got all that stuff done, and starting next week we'll start house hunting again. So at least that's the plan. So we'll see how we do, but it's gonna be a very busy month. We know that. Angela and I know that. There's some movies we want to go see. There's no way we're gonna see all of them, so we're just gonna pick and choose, on days when we think we can go. Also, being as the I think, of course, as you know, a couple weeks from now. Well, I think it's a few weeks from now, but anyway, the 17th, St. Patty's Day weekend, so we'll be doing some stuff for St. Patty's Day, and then after St. Patty's Day, the weekend after, there's Planet Comic-Con in Kansas City. We're going to go to that Friday, so I'm looking forward to that as well. Just a lot of things to enjoy, so I'm looking forward to everything, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah. So anyway, getting into it. So now that I've gave you guys a lay down of what we're planning on doing and stuff and things, let's dive right on in. Oh, and there's going to be movies too that we'll probably check out when they come out on our streaming stuff. Movies that we didn't get a chance to see in theaters. Like, we just got through watching, we finally sat down this week and we're able to watch Scream 2. So I've got my review on that movie that I'll be posting on here as well for today's episode. So there's that. Scream 2, talking some WWE. We're going to be talking a little bit about some Traders, the Traders episode. And School Spirits is winding up their season, so there's that, and of course talking sports about the Mizzou Tigers, and talking some Boston Celtics, so we'll get into that. And of course, like I said, WWE Elimination Chamber, definitely going to be talking about that. Don't really have a whole lot on AEW right now, but I'll have more as because I failed to watch AEW this week. I failed. I had other things I was doing, and I just failed. So hopefully this upcoming week I'll jump back into that. So, but anyway, all right. So for the 28th, can you keep a secret? Yeah, I can keep a secret. I've kept quite a few secrets. And no, I'm not going to tell you what those secrets are on here. So, but yes, I can keep secrets. I've done it time and time again. A lot of times, and the thing of it is, a lot of times when people ask me, like, well, can you keep this secret? Or, I'm like, well, yeah, because 90% of the time, 90% of the things they tell me have nothing to do with myself or anybody else that I know, other than them. So, even if I wanted to spread that rumor, if I wanted to spread that information, why would I? Because 90% of the people that I talk to won't care anyway. So, why would I tell them? Even if I did tell them, they're going to forget in like 5 seconds because they really don't care. You know what I mean? It doesn't affect them. It doesn't affect me. So they won't care. And then for the other percentage that people tell me, again, I tell them a lot of times, is like, you can talk to me, you can vent to me all you want. No, I'm not going to tell the other person anything. I don't do that. I'm not going to talk behind your back. I'm not going to try to spread rumors or whatever. Just not my style. So there you go. All right, and then for March the 1st, for today's question of the day, what's on your mind right now? Wow, what's on my mind right now? The Elimination Chamber tonight. I am so looking forward to the Elimination Chamber. It's not even funny. It is on my mind that's why I'm wearing this shirt. And I've got my pets wearing Stone Cold Steve Austin collar covers. So definitely looking forward to the Elimination Chamber tonight. So that's what's on my mind right now. Alright, and then we'll get into these other questions. Okay, so here we go. See. We'll do this for 5 minutes. As soon as I get to the 15-minute mark, I'll stop. Do you have a scar? If so, how did you get it? I've got a few scars. Not gonna lie. Of course, as you know, the scars on my face, that was acne when I was in high school. It happens. But I've got a scar here from, basically from surgery. I had a tumor on my arm, a small one, that they had to take out. I've got, on my belly, I've got a couple of scars, because, from when I worked at Walmart and got a double hernia, and they had to go in and do some surgery. Trying to think of where else. Oh, I've got a couple of scars here. Some cut scars, mainly just because work in general, and working with metal that can cut you. So for every now and then it got me. And then this one here, from where a cat bit me. So it happens. Cat was not happy with me, that I was moving her, and she bit me. Not any of the cats that I own now, but it was, yeah. But it's okay. Life goes on. So there you go. There's a few of my many scars. I'm not going to tell you all of them, but that's a few of them. So there you go. I do my own stunts. As I tell people, I do my own stunts. Has anyone ever approached you thinking you are someone else? Yes, actually, that has happened a couple of times, but I cannot for the life of me remember who they thought I was at the time. But yes, that's happened multiple times. People, mainly because sometimes they just see me out of the corner of their eye, or they see me with my back turned to them, so then they automatically think I'm someone else, and then as soon as I turn around, or when they see me, full on, I'm like, oh, you're not who I thought you were. It happens. How tech savvy are you? I am pretty tech savvy, but I'm not. I haven't kept up with a lot of the changes like I would like to, so I'm trying to get back to where I used to be, because it used to be I was pretty damn tech savvy. I wasn't the best, but I was far from the worst. And now I feel like, I'm starting to get behind on some of the new stuff that's come out. So I feel like I need to play catch up a little bit. Have you ever dated two people at the same time? I did, actually. Because here's the key thing. I dated, and I told Angela, I was completely honest, and this is before I met Angela. Just before I met Angela, I dated 3 girls at the same time. And I was very open about it. And I even told them the reason. I think one of them found out, or I told them, I'm not sure. But anyway, yeah, I told. But bottom line was, and I was, like I said, I was completely honest. I told them, like, bottom line is, we're only dating. We're not boyfriend, girlfriend yet. Nobody has staked a claim on me yet. And I said, when that day comes, where I make my decision on which one I want to stick with, if I do make that decision, then I commit to them. And I dump the other 2 girls. It's that simple. Or, we just quit dating. It wouldn't really be dumping, because we're not really in a relationship. We're only dating right now to try to get to know each other. Because I didn't know any of these women prior to that. So that was my thing. It's like, no, I'm doing this solely to get to know you for a potential relationship. Therefore, and people do this all the time. At least that's what I was told. I ended up not with any of those ladies, but it wasn't because, they were mad at me for dating another girl. It was simply because things didn't work out between us. It was just that simple. One of them, it was because of the distance between her and it. And that, by the way, was pretty much the only reason. It was literally the only reason, but it was a good enough reason. She lived far enough away to where it was just hard for us to meet back and forth to date. And on top of that, she was working 3 jobs, so we didn't have much time anyway, and that just kind of played a damper that. So, and I think her and I were probably, at that time, between her, me, and the other 2 girls, I think her and I were more in sync than the other 2, and I wish to God that I lived a little bit closer to kind of see that relationship more through, but it is what it is. So I'm not too upset about it. I'm moving on. Well, I've already moved on. So what am I saying? But the other 2, I found out, well, basically the one girl out of them, I pretty much felt like she was taking advantage of the fact that I was, because when the guy goes out on dates, he pays for the date. Well, I kind of figured out that she's taking full advantage of me in that regard because she's getting a free dinner out of it. And then she'd kind of lead me on to thinking that maybe we would get together, but not, because I dated her a few times and I was like, okay, well, there's no commitment here. She goes like, well, you know what I mean, and like, I'm just looking for a friend. I'm like, oh, okay, so you're looking for a friend, but I'm paying for the date, so I'm paying for like everything. You've never volunteered to pay for anything. Friends at least volunteer. You haven't done any of that. So yeah, I kind of rolled it up later on that she's basically just looking for a free lunch or a free meal, and she was getting it. So, and then I'm trying to remember, but I believe the third one, if I'm not mistaken at the time, I want to say the third one, it was just basically a schedule conflict there was the problem. And it was a problem more on my end than it was on her end. So nothing against her, but it's just timing on my part. I didn't have time to really date her and all of that, and I started growing to the point where I wasn't really interested in her. It was really between the other 2 girls, and the one that lived the furthest away, she's the one that I was actually hoping that I would be in a relationship with. But because of the distance and her having 3 jobs, it just didn't work out. But I wish it would have, Well, at that time, I wish it would have. Let me put it that way. I'm happy with my fiance. I'm happy with how things turned out. But at that moment in time when I was dating the 3 girls, she was the one I was really hoping things would go well with. But it is what it is, So I'm moving on. I've already moved on. At any rate, before I get in trouble. I'm trying to get in trouble there. But no, I'm not. Like I said, at the time, I wish it would have worked between that girl and me. But then I found Angela not too long after I broke things off with the last girl of those 3. And I met Angela, and things really turned around for the better. And I'm in a good, healthy relationship. So I have no regrets in that regard. And I think those having dated those 3 girls at once, I think it kind of made me a better person, made me see things a little bit more about myself. So yeah, I think that was kind of what I needed for this relationship. So there you go. Now, moving on, Missouri Day of History, now that I went past the 15-minute mark. So we'll get into this. So we got 2 days to cover. The last day of March, and then we have There is a February 29th in here, but we're not going to worry about that. I guess I could talk about it, even though we didn't have a February 29th this year, but we'll go over it anyway. So we got 3 to cover. So first, February 28th. We're going to go all the way back to 1983, so we're not going too far back. We're talking about MASH. Final episode ends with Missouri storylines. Actually, I did notice that. One of the characters in, if I'm not mistaken, one of the characters in MASH was supposedly from Missouri. So, anyway, one of the biggest TV events in history was seen by an estimated 120 million people as the final episode of MASH aired on CBS. The television series was based on award-winning movie directed by Kansas City's Robert Altman and ran 11 seasons. Missouri viewers especially loved the local storylines, including references to President Truman and lead character Colin Sherman Potter, reminiscing about his home in Hannibal, and that's what I remember is Potter always referring to Missouri in the storyline. I had no idea though that the director was also from Missouri, so that really speaks volumes there. And I think with that director being there, he was probably able to really connect with or help that character of Potter come to life, because he also was from Missouri, so he could really kind of hone in on some of that, plus the references to Truman. I do remember quite a few references to Truman, so that was really cool. So there you go. So on the 28th of February, in March, was the last episode of MASH. So there you go. And I will show you guys the picture. They have a picture. So there you go. There's the picture. There's the picture. And they don't have Potts in that picture. That's actually the original cast. Changed after that. They changed through the seasons. So, but at any rate, there's that. Now, February 29th, even though we didn't have a February 29th this year, but we still have history on that date, so we'll go over it. So, February 29th, we go back to 1916. St. Louis voters approve racial segregation. An overwhelming majority of the city voters approved a racial zoning ordinance that legally mandated segregated living across the city. In the decade leading up to the vote, a large influx of African Americans had come to St. Louis from southern states. The St. Louis Real Estate Exchange began an organized campaign warning residents of declining property values of African Americans were allowed to move into certain neighborhoods, calling it a Negro invasion. Where have I heard that before? I mean, not Negro invasion, but I've heard the term invasion used quite often over the years for different races coming into certain towns and cities, and I think it's ludicrous. I heard it growing up here. A lot of Hispanics started moving here throughout the years around this area. One reason is because of Tyson Chicken. A lot of people around here didn't want to work at Tyson. Well, a lot of the Hispanics moved here, like from Texas and New Mexico. Some of them from Mexico, from the country of Mexico. But they moved here for a better life, and they also moved here because, Tyson brought them in to help them out with that factory, because a lot of people just didn't want to do that kind of work around here. So try and give them a better life, a better opportunity. So here in this town, being it's a small town that's not too far away from there, about, I'd say 3 miles out, 2 to 3 miles away. So a lot of Hispanics started moving here, not only for Tyson, but for other reasons as well. And I know as people would move, or as that would happen throughout the years, people were saying here, like, oh, there's a Mexican invasion, which I thought was, when I would hear it, especially now when I hear it, because I still hear it every now and then, or something along those lines, I get really upset. I'm like, dude, really? Do we really have to go there? They're not any different than the rest of us. It's just, they're cold. What you all are getting mad about is how they look different than us. But yes, they do look different. Yes, they have a different culture than we do. Yes, some of them do not speak English. But you know what? It's perfectly fine. You can still find ways to communicate with people without verbally talking to them. Or you can find ways to communicate with them. But anyway. So in that 1916 vote, 74% of the voters approved the measure that prohibited members of any race from moving into an area where 75% of the residents were of another race. So stupid. Missouri Supreme Court eventually outlawed the ordinance, but municipalities then put place covenants to keep homeowners from selling to blacks, which again is so stupid. I know here for a little while, when people would try to sell their homes around either this town or some towns over, I remember some people saying that they were not going to sell to the Hispanic community because they'd rather sell to people that actually lived around here and that they grew up around and all of that. And I'm like, my thought is this: a lot of those people that grew up around here don't want to stay here for long anyway, number one, and number two, they have just as much right to be here as we do. So they're doing they're doing the work, obviously. Whether they're here illegally or not, I have no idea. That's between them and the government, as far as I'm concerned. That's not between me, them, and the government. That's just between them and the government. So, I'm not even going to go to that extreme of, well, as long as they're here legally. I'm just going to say they're here. And as long as they're here, they have rights just like we do. And if they want the house and they have the money for the house, let them have the house. That's what I'm saying. The rest of it's no business of yours. They paid you, move on. Legally, you can't stop them, so they paid for it, go on. That's how I see it. Anyway, we're moving on from that one. So now we're into March. So March, we're going back to 1912. The first parachute jump from an airplane takes place in St. Louis. Oh, I didn't know that. I do now. U.S. Captain Albert Berry made history when he got into an airplane, took off from Kinloch Field, and then landed over Jefferson Barracks Army Base. The Benoist biplane, piloted by Tony Janus, was an open-air type of airplane. Berry had to climb out of his and climb into... I want to say climb out of this instead of climb out of his. But anyway, he had to climb out of this and climb into a trapeze-type bar. Put on a parachute and then go. So it's not like jumping like today where you have like a thing, you know, a door that opens and then you just jump out. He actually had to go into a different section of the plane from what it sounds like on the outside of the plane, and then put on the parachute and then jump off. Sounds safe to me. Sounds perfectly safe. He'll be just fine. The jump was only from 1,500 feet. Well, that's still enough to kill you. I like how they go, it was only 1,500 feet. It's still enough to kill you. But anyway, but it took an estimated 500 feet for the chute to fill with air. Oh, damn. So he fell 500 feet before the parachute finally took effect. So 1,000 feet, but he still fell 500 feet before that would be scary. Like, I don't think it's working. I don't think it's working. I don't think it. Oh, finally. But yeah, that's still pretty cool in a way. So first parachute jump took place on 1912, and it was in Missouri, in St. Louis. So there you go. There you go. Missouri history for March the 1st. I'm all caught up now. All caught up. So if you watch this video, you already know I'm caught up. So there you go. I'll probably be uncaught up because I haven't done one for March the 2nd yet, and it takes this thing about 24 hours to upload, but it is what it is. Alright, so now, going in, we're going to talk about the SAG Awards that took place last Sunday that was on Netflix. So we have Best Actor Supporting Role was Kieran Culkin for Real Pain. I like Culkin. I think he's going to be an outstanding actor. Well, I think he already is, but that family is just, you know, those brothers, that family, they are just really talented. The Culkins and the Olsens. But, yeah. Family actor in drama series, so female actor in a drama series, Anna Sawai for Shogun. I'm really wanting to watch Shogun. It looks really good, and now that I keep seeing they keep winning awards, I might have to try to watch that at some point. Male actor in a drama series was Haruka Sanada. I probably butchered that first name, but he's also from Shogun. So again, I really want to watch Shogun now after seeing some of this. Female actor in a comedy series was Jean Smart for Hacks. Male actor in a comedy series, Martin Short for Only Murders in the Building. And Angela told me that she's been watching that show. It's on Hulu, and she told me that she really likes it, so I may have to watch that one too. Female actor in a TV movie or limited series, Jessica Gunning got it for Baby Reindeer. I don't know if I want to see that or not. I'm still got mixed feelings over it, but just because of all the hype or the talk that's been surrounding that series. But anyway, male actor in a TV movie or limited series, Colin Farrell for The Penguin. He did an awesome job as the Penguin. I'm glad that he won. Really love that series. I'm sad that they're not going to make any more, but it was really good. I'm hoping that they'll get Colin Farrell to keep playing the Penguin. Maybe if they do another Batman movie, you know, sometime in the future or whatever. I'm hoping that Colin Farrell will be the man who's playing the Penguin for that, because he did a really great job as a Penguin. Then they recognized Jane Fonda Lifetime Achievement Award. I really don't care for Jane Fonda, so I moved on. She's got some good movies. I'm not going to deny that. I can watch her in a couple of movies, but I still am not a big fan of hers at all. It goes back to what she did for the Vietnam War. Uh, everybody can have their opinions and their views, but she took it way too much to the extreme, and I agree with a lot of people when they say that they probably should have left Fonda in Vietnam where she belongs, and she loved them so much. But at any rate, I know she's asked for forgiveness since then, and she's trying to put that behind her, but, like I said, she's had some good movies, but if she's not like the lead role in those movies, I'll watch it. If she's one of the lead roles, I don't watch it. I can't stand her. So that's where I stand on that, I guess. It's kind of one of those situations like I'll forgive her, but I'm not gonna forget, kind of thing. So, but anyway, favorite, well, not favorite, but anyway, female supporting role in a motion picture. Zoe Zalanda for Amelia Perez. She took that one. I see where Amelia Perez won quite a few awards for the global award. For global awards. So they're having a good run. Best ensemble drama series was Shogun. Again, I really want to watch Shogun, especially now. I saw they had a good outing at the Global Awards also, and then they had another one here. So it makes me want to watch both of them, really, Amelia Perez and Shogun. Best cast in a motion picture was Concave. Best stunt ensemble in a motion picture was The Fall Guy. I think they mentioned those before the actual award ceremony, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, there's that. Best ensemble of a comedy series, Only Murders in a Building. So, I really want to see that too. Angela says it's really good. So, I may have to watch that one at some point on my own. Best female actor in a leading role. Let me try that again. Best female actor in a leading role was Demi Moore with The Substance. I kind of want to see that also. And Demi Moore, she's a really great actress, so I'm not surprised she won that. Same thing with Martin Short. I'm not surprised he won his award either. He's really good. Male actor in a leading role was Timothy Chalamet with A Complete Unknown. So I've heard good things about that one too. I haven't seen it, but I've heard good things about it. Stunt ensemble in a TV series was again Shogun. So Shogun pretty much ran the show that night. They got the most awards. Again, really want to see it. It looks really good from what I can tell. So I'm intrigued. Alright, and then going over my review of Smile 2. Angela and I were watching that movie Tuesday. Since we didn't go out to see a movie this week, we decided to watch one of those that we haven't seen yet. So we watched Smile 2. I'm just going to say Naomi Scott did a really great job playing Sky Riley. I really loved her in that role. I actually had to look it up to see if she was an actual singer, in real life, because she played that so well. So like, I think she is a singer in real life. Let me look it up. Let me see if she's ever went on tour or see what some of her songs are. But she is a singer. She is a British actress and singer. She's been on the on the Disney Channel for Life Bites. I've never seen that series, but I just know she's very talented, and I loved her performance in this movie. She did a really great job. I I thought that I thought quite a few people in. I mean, I can't speak for the whole cast because it seems like a few of them you didn't really see very much in the movie. For what you did see of them, they did a really good job. Um, but the ones that really stood out to me, Ray Nicholson as Paul Hudson, Sky's boyfriend that dies in the movie. Spoiler, if you haven't seen it. But I thought he did a really great job. Dylan Galala, Dylan Galala, who played Gemma, who was Naomi's BFF. I thought she did a really great job too. She is for me anyway. She's known for NCIS, so I've seen her on NCIS. So, but she's a really great actress, and she did a really great job as Gemma. So I like that. Rosemary DeWitt. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Rosemary DeWitt as Elizabeth Riley, Sky's mom. She was really good. I liked her. And I like Naomi Scott together on set. They seemed to have a really good chemistry, in the film. I don't know if they had good chemistry in real life, but it seemed like they had really good chemistry on set. Or, I don't know if they did or not on set, but they seemed to have really good chemistry in the movie anyway. But yeah, she did a really great job. And of course, she's been in some good movies as well. I haven't seen the 2015 Poltergeist yet, but after seeing her in this movie, I definitely want to see that one now. She was in Rachel Getting Married, which I have not seen. La La Land, I have not seen yet, but I want to see it. Cinderella Man, I do remember her in that movie. And then The Odd Life of Timothy Green, I've seen her in that one as well. She did a good job. She's been in several other movies too, but those are the ones that really that I recognized. But she did a really amazing job. Her and Naomi Scott both did really well. And then Peter Jackson playing Morris. He was in Cars 1 and 2, Fear of the Walking Dead, Saka, House, and Colony. I thought he did a really great job as Morris. So, spoiler again, but Morris is basically this guy. Turns out this guy is basically in Sky's mind. You'll find that out later. But he comes and he's trying to tell her that she basically has to die in order for this thing that's this infected thing that's inside of her that makes her quote unquote smile before she dies. Basically, the only way to kill it is to die yourself temporarily, just long enough for the thing to die, and not be able to pass on what it, to move to another host, so it dies and then you're good to go. But like I said, it turns out Morris was in her head the whole time, and yeah, this parasite's still very much still in control, and it ends up killing Sky at the end. But again, spoilers. But yeah, really good movie. Miles Gurriez as Miles Gurriez Riley as Joshua. He did a really good job as Josh. And then Paul Castiolo as Darius. I thought he did a really good job. Drew Barrymore, she makes an appearance in the very beginning of the more or less in the beginning of the film. So she basically she had Sky Riley on her show, on the Barrymore show in the beginning, talking to her, and then you kind of get the background story of Sky Riley, which was really cool. I like the backstory. I like how basically she was a recovering alcohol and drug addict, which you kind of got from the beginning. So you kind of got it then that once the host took over, once this thing took over her, because she's the host, but once this parasite, basically, she goes to a drug dealer's house, but she's trying to get Vicodin because she was in a recent car accident, and her back is really giving her a lot of problems. So she can't get a doctor to prescribe it to her because she is a recovering drug addict. So she's going to a drug dealer's house to get Vicodin. But that's all she's trying to get because she still wants to stay clean. But anyway, so she goes to his house. Well, this guy is infected with the parasite. So he doesn't know it yet, but then at the very end, the parasite takes over, and he gives her that big old smile that we know of from the first movie. You don't need to see the first movie in order to see this one. Completely different cast, different storyline. So you're not going to be lost if you haven't seen the first movie, but the first movie does kind of give you the back. It doesn't really give you a backstory of the parasite, but it kind of gives you a backstory of, I don't know. But anyway, it is still a backstory to this, but it's not one that you have to necessarily watch in order to watch this one. So if you just jumped right into Smile 2, you're not really missing anything. You can still go back. You can still go back and watch Smile, the first Smile, without a problem. Vice versa. They don't really have, because like I said, it's a different cast, so it's not like it's going to affect anything there of jumping ahead to Smile 2 that I saw. Great movie, though. Like I said, this movie was just as good as the first one. I did enjoy it. The only thing that I have bad about this movie was in the end when you see that evil thing or whatever. I guess, now keep in mind, the evil thing is what she sees it being in her mind, but just how it looked and everything, I thought they could have made this thing a little bit more. I think they could have made it look a little bit more scarier than what they did. I was like, okay, oh no, we're actually, what's going on? And then you see this thing come out, and it's like, okay, am I really supposed to be scared of this thing? I'm somewhat, but you kind of took the fear away now. But I think they could have done it a little bit better. I don't know, but it kind of lost some of its vibe there at the end. Other than that scene, the movie was really good. I really enjoyed it, like I said, because her being Sky Riley being in a car accident and then being a recovered drug addict, alcohol, related. So you knew as soon as this thing takes over, and then of course it's going to have her go psycho, go nuts, and then everybody's just going to think then that she fell off the wagon again. So then basically it can kind of do whatever it wants while, nobody's going to believe a word that she's saying of what's going on. So, which portrays it really good. And then, of course, the way the parasite moves from person to person is it stares at somebody. It stares at whoever it wants as its next victim, gives them the stare, and then it basically kills the. While it's giving you that smile stare, it kills the host. So, or basically has the host kill themselves right in front of everybody, which is kind of dramatic, and that is how it then enters into your head. So, it's more like a psychotic type parasite. So, at the end, of course, Sky Riley, when she has a smile on her face and kills herself, she's right out on stage in front of all of her fans. So now for Smile 3, they could portray it as a lot of people going through this instead of just one person at a time like they've been doing. So now we could really have an epidemic on our hands for the third movie. I'm kind of looking forward to that, to see what they do for it. That would be really cool. You could put it as Smile the Epidemic now or something like that. I don't know, but it'll be fun to watch. But I did get a kick out of this movie. It was somewhat scary, but in it, like I said, it was scary, but in a different way. They didn't really try to do. I think there was one time where they did a jump scare once or twice, but in my opinion, those jump scares weren't really needed. It was already a good, scary, or somewhat creepy storyline without all of that. So, because of that, because of this thing being in her head, and you thought there a couple times like she was getting out of it or whatever, then all at once, like, no, this is all in your head, and then it comes back on her, and she freaks out. Of course, you in the audience, you kind of freak out too, because she's like, oh, I thought she got rid of you. What the hell? And yeah, then we right back into this. So I really loved it. I loved it for that reason. I thought that's exactly how horror movies should be, or how they should end, is how this one ended. So I had no problem with it, and I'm hoping to see the third one. So for that reasons, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. And I can't really give it a 5 out of 5 because I did have a few complaints. Well, a couple. But the main one, like I said, was seeing that entity at the end. That I think they could have portrayed that a little bit better. Other than that, good movie, 4 out of 5, and I definitely look forward to seeing Smile 2. Now we're moving on. So before I get into my nerd sports talk, now that I talked about a movie review and all that, we'll get into going back to the SAG Awards. I gotta go back just a little bit. Let's talk about the best dress. So first, for the ladies, we have then this is my list. This isn't anybody else's list. This is my list. Number 10, I had Joey King with a black dress with the blue collar. I thought that was really cool. It was definitely different. So she had to make my list. It was different, but it was different in a good way. It was different in a bad way that I've seen a couple times on there. I'm like, oh, God, no. But she was different in a good way. So, which I know sometimes actresses and actors will do that on purpose. Get the ugliest thing on purpose just so that way people notice them. But I thought she was really good. It was done in a tasteful way. And like I said, it looked really good. So I will put her on number 10. Number 9, Anna Sawai with a red and black dress. Again, it was different. It was a different type of... The way it was done, it was red in the front, black in the back, and then just the way it was done, like, she had a really good... like, the top was up to her neck, but then you look at the back part, the black part of the dress, and it came down to maybe right around in this area. So it's a little bit more revealing, but yet not too revealing, obviously. But, yeah, she makes my number 9. I really like that dress. Different, but different in a good way. Number 8, Alicia Denman Carey with a white dress. I thought that one was really good. Number 7, Keke Palmer with a black dress. Number 6, Demi Moore with her black dress. I thought Demi Moore looked really elegant. Number 5, Genevieve Chanamore with the blue dress. Number 4, Carrie Mulligan with the gold dress. Number 2 was Emily Blunt with a red vest dress. Oh, yeah, I thought it just looked sexy as hell. So she had to make my number 2. And number 1, because I thought this dress was sexy as well, is Florence Hunt with the sparkly silver dress. So there was my top. That's my top 10 for the ladies. Now my top 10 for the men was David, number 10, David Geisey with a white button dress or white button shirt with a black suit. Number 9, Edward Norton with a different style white button shirt and a black suit. I liked his style a little bit better, so he made number 9. Number 8, Harrison Ford with a suit and tie. I think Harrison Ford is one of those guys that he could probably look good in just about anything, but I like how he did the suit and tie, so props to him. 7, Jeff Goldblum with the suit with the green, almost kind of like a scarf, not really a scarf, but kind of like that scarf look. I like that, so it was definitely different, so he had to make my number 7. Number 6, Jason Segel with a black suit. Number 5, Kadif Kerwin with his black suit. Number 4, Andrew Scott with the white shirt with the gray suit. Number 3, Adrian Brody with a suit and tie. And number 2 was Luke Newton with his black suit. And number 1, Timothy Chalamet with the green button shirt and the black leather suit. I thought his was really, really cool. I liked that. So there you go. There is my top 10s list for the SAG Awards. Best dressed, worst dressed, whatever. Well, I didn't do worst dressed. I just do best dressed. I hate doing worst dressed. I hate trying to tell people that they're ugly, so I don't do that. It's just not nice. Alright, and then for shopping. Getting into that, and then we'll get into the nerd sports Elimination Chamber, and then we'll get to regular sports. So first off, we got goldfish, and we got some here. And then I gotta show you guys the Keebler also. So bear with me here as we take the tour of the house here. A small tour. So first off for my shopping, the Goldfish Harry Potter Butterbeer. So that, and we're gonna be trying, I'll be doing a taste test of that sometime in either this weekend or this upcoming week, one of the two. And then also we have Keebler came out with Harry Potter Fudge Stripes. And of course it's also got the butterbeer. So there you go. There you go. All these brands coming out with some Harry Potter butterbeer. I told Angela, I said, like, now if they come out with, and maybe this is giving people a hint, I don't know, but if they come out with the butterbeer coffee creamer, if someone comes out with that, I was like, I'm definitely going to get some of that, because I bet you 10 to 1, that would go really good with coffee. So I'm definitely all for trying that out. So there's that. And then what else should we get? What else do we got here? We got Little Debbie. Little Debbie is got a new double-decker chocolate chip cream pie that will be available, or I guess it might be available now. I'm not sure. And then Junior's has a new mini Oreo cheesecake or cheesecakes that's only available at Costco at the moment. And then I believe I meant to look into it a little bit more, but I believe Burger King has a new Whopper that came out too, so something else for people to check out. But that's all I seem to have for right now. I might be missing a couple things. Oh, Ritz. Ritz also has a new flavor that came out. I'm trying to think of the name, but I'll have it up here. So there's that. And I think it was like hot honey or something like that. Something with warm honey, I think. Something like in those But it looked intriguing, and I'm thinking I might want to try that too. If I see it, I'll probably try it as well. But there is that. So now let's get into it. The nerd stuff. So we go WWE, talking about Monday Night Raw. Logan Paul opened up Monday Night Raw. And like I said before, people can say what they want about Logan Paul. I will boo him myself because he's the bad guy or one of the bad guys. But you know what? At the end of the day, he's a really good wrestler, and he deserves his flowers or his moment in the sun. Now, as to whether or not he's going to get the title or not, I doubt it. If he might get a title match at WrestleMania, but to see him knock off, if he does get it, I don't think he'll knock off Cody Rhodes. I don't see that happening. So maybe, but probably not. But CM Punk comes out after that, and he confronts Logan Paul. I didn't know what to think of that, to be honest with you, or honest with the people, because like I said, I guess they're trying to go after like a Logan Paul CM Punk feud there, but right now CM Punk has kind of got his hands full with Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins. So like I said time and time again, I don't see that storyline changing in any shape, way, or form. So right now I think that this was just kind of a complete and total waste of airspace, that they could have used it for something else. But at any rate, next we have Kaiser, Penta, and Pete Dunne in a three-way fight. Kaiser ends up stealing a win, basically. He stole the win in that match. Pete Dunne and, of course, Penta were a little pissed off. Because, especially since Pete Dunne he kind of had Penta where he wanted him, I guess. I'm not sure. But, no, I take that back. Penta kind of had Pete Dunne right where he wanted him, and then Penta got pushed out of the ring. So, Kaiser pushed Penta out of the ring and then stole the win. That's what happened. So, I don't see the feud. Basically, the feud between these three men is not over yet. I think, if anything, that just kept it going. So, we're going to have another three-way fight at some point there. They might make it into a street fight this time to where, they can't cheat their way out of it. We'll see. Time will tell. But I could see a street fight in the near future with those three. And that would be no stranger. By the way, Penta from his AEW days, he's definitely no stranger to a street fight. So, I can see that happening. Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky next Monday Night Raw. I think it'll be a good match, but I do not see Rhea Ripley losing her title at that. I don't see her losing her title to Io Sky. Yes, Io Sky's has beaten her before, but that was back in NXT days, so it's been a while since the two actually fought and Io Sky won, so I'm really not too worried about it. I'd say Mommy's going to beat Io Sky. Then we got the New Day versus the LWO. New Day won, but I don't think the feud is over yet by any means. I still think they're going to continue that onwards. Tozawa versus Gunther, which really surprised me that Tozawa would challenge Gunther, of all people. But he actually held his own against Gunther, which is really cool. Gunther still got the win, of course. And then he ends up pretty much bullying Tozawa at the end, which is something I didn't like. Like, okay, just take the man's lunch money already if that's what you're going to do. I think I even said that. Like, come on, this is getting ridiculous. You've already beaten him, you beaten him, you pretty much embarrassed him when you beat him, and now you're still out here. Just take the man's lunch money and go if that's really what you want to do. So to speak, just take his wallet, do what you got to do, whatever. You've already embarrassed him. Move on. But Otis gets involved because he didn't like how Tozawa was being treated there after the match. Otis pretty much scares Gunther out, and then Gunther looks back and says, "You know what?" So then he attacks Otis from behind, which was, a really good move by a bad guy. If you're going to be a bad guy, that's the way to do it. Well, then, of course, Jey Uso comes out and chases Gunther out of the ring, so that was pretty much a done deal. But in saying that, Jey Uso, later on, he was in the back during this episode, and yeah, let's just say I think he's got a match coming up on Monday Night Raw. Against a guy from Australia. But this guy is not, by any means, he's nowhere near Mommy's caliber, so I don't think Jey Uso will have a problem beating him next week. Braun Breaker beat he had a match against Dirty Dom. He was beating him with ease. It was in a disqualification, though, because Judgment Day was out there and they weren't about to see Dirty Dom get destroyed, which was what was about to happen. There was a stare down between Braun Breaker and Finn Balor. So I'm definitely thinking there's going to be a match at some point between those two, probably for the title that Braun Breaker is holding right now, which would definitely help out the Judgment Day and getting some titles back onto their side of things. But I don't really see Finn Balor beating Braun Breaker. It might happen because, Finn Balor does have the experience over Breaker, but Breaker is a beast, so I don't know. My money's on Breaker. But The Rock, of course, from last week on SmackDown, he wants Cody's soul, which I kind of found out more about that later on. I guess somehow or another I missed some of that during SmackDown, which is my fault completely. But at any rate, so he wants Cody's soul in that he wants Cody to do his bidding for him as the champ. And of course, in doing so, he won't have to fight as much. Basically do like Roman Reigns did, where he doesn't have to fight as much, with the title. And on top of that, he gets perks from The Rock for being his champ. And he'll probably get backup every now and then from different people from the back, to keep his championship belt, kind of like what Roman Reigns did with the Bloodline. So we'll see if Cody Rhodes turns to the dark side. If he does, that would really make the Elimination Chamber very interesting, because a lot of the guys that are in there are baby faces, so that would open up the door, that really would open up the door then for us to see Cody Rhodes versus John Cena. So maybe they're trying to do that with The Rock in the background. That would definitely be very interesting to see. Time will tell what they do with that. Then we got Liv Morgan and Raquel versus Naomi and Belair. Dirty Dom interferes in that match, and the Judgment Day win. And in doing that, now the ladies of the Judgment Day, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, now are the new ladies tag team champions. So, which is really interesting. See what they go with that storyline. Now we're trying to find out who got Jade Cargill. I don't really think it was Liv Morgan or Raquel Rodriguez. I'm looking more towards Naomi. I think it was Naomi. I know a lot of people are thinking, well, it was Naomi and Bianca both. But I do remember that they kind of broke Bianca's match to show, when Bianca was basically, she was trying to qualify, I believe, for I forgot what match she's trying to qualify for now. But anyway, it was a qualifying match. I want to say it was for the Royal Rumble. But no, she was trying to qualify for that match, or for a match, and they interrupted that to show Jade Cargill, laid out on top of the car. So, and where Bianca basically runs out there to see what's going on. So I don't really think Bianca had anything to do with it, considered she was in the middle of a match when it happened, or when it supposedly happened. But there again, it could have happened before her match. I don't know. I don't think so. I'm leaning more towards Naomi. I think it had more to do with her, so that way she could have her tag team title run. Maybe she felt like she was kind of being maybe she felt like her title run was kind of being, was being stolen by Jade Cargill, and that was her way of getting back at Jade. I don't know, but time will tell. I don't think they're going to let us know, though, until Jade comes back. I'm hoping that she'll come back tonight during the Elimination Chamber, and we'll find out then, to set up maybe for a match, for a big match for WrestleMania, which would be really cool. But anyway, then we go on to SmackDown. We have Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus. So Stratton and Stratus together in a tag team match against Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. I thought the match was getting really good there for a while, and then, of course, Nia Jax and Candice LeRae interfere, which I thought was stupid. But anyway, I know they're still trying to sell that match for tonight for the Elimination Chamber, but I still wanted to see Stratton and Stratus kick Green and Niven's ass, so I was kind of disappointed in that. I just want to see that match through, but it is what it is. Stratton and Stratus still end up getting the best of them at the end, and then we got that match tonight, Elimination Chamber. Stratton and Stratus will take on Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. I think Stratton and Stratus are going to win that match. I don't see why they wouldn't. So, which then Stratton will then be able to really focus in on Flair. Maybe. But there again, Nia Jax still may interfere at some point because she still feels like she was robbed of her title, which I get. But that's what Money in the Bank is all about. She got cashed in on, and that happens. Fatu got a win on SmackDown, but on a singles match. As soon as I saw the match, I'm like, Fatu's going to win this. I don't even need to watch it, and went to go do something else and came back. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Fatu, but as soon as I saw, like, yeah, he's going to win. I can go do something else and come back. Not a big deal. I don't need to see this match. All the men tag team, all the tag teams for the men on SmackDown, they all came out and fought each other. So who knows what they're going to do there. It was all... we'll see what they do there for the tag teams, but I'm starting to get bored of it. I really am. They got some good tag teams, don't get me wrong, but that storyline is just starting to get really boring. I wish they'd just do something else with it and move on. Then we have the 6-man tag team talk. John Cena was the only one that didn't show up to this, even though everybody thought he did for a second, and then it was because his music started playing, and then it was Logan Paul that came out to his music, so which I thought was funny. I thought that was funny. You know, you all can say what you want, but I thought it was pretty funny. And like I said, as far as the outcome goes for that match, I do believe that CM Punk, I still believe that CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Drew McIntyre, as much as I like CM Punk, I think all three of them are going to get eliminated at the Elimination Chamber. I think they'll be out because they have too many feuds amongst themselves there. So I think they're going to take... I don't know who's going to take them out, but I do think they'll be out of the Elimination Chamber, which will set up a three-way match. A three-way match between those guys at WrestleMania. I think that's what we're trying to set up for now. So I think those three will go on to face each other after this match at WrestleMania. They won't be in the main event, but it will be a big match nevertheless. They may make it to where, like, the winner of their match, their three-way match, will have a chance to go after one of the titles. So, which would be really interesting if they do that. But yeah, all I'm thinking, so then it's between, with those three out, it's between Damian Priest, John Cena, and Logan Paul. I know which one I'd like to see. I would love to see Damian Priest win it and then go on and face Cody Rhodes. I think that would be a really cool match. One we have not seen yet. I would definitely be interested in watching it. Yeah, I think Damian Priest earns that. He's kind of earned that spot. The way he wrestles and the way he's really progressed over the last, But I think Logan Paul would, I think it'll probably be Logan Paul. I think he'll be the one that wins it. Either him or John Cena. What really comes down to, but those are the two that I'm thinking of. It'll either be John Cena or Logan Paul. It'll be one of those two that's going to win the Elimination Chamber. And what it all comes down to is whether or not Cody Rhodes accepts The Rock's deal. If Cody Rhodes accepts it, we're going to see Cody Rhodes versus John Cena. If Cody Rhodes denies it, doesn't want to do it, he'll face Logan Paul. That's how it goes, because he's got to face a bad guy. If he's going to be the baby face, he's got to face a bad guy. If he becomes the bad guy, then he's got to face a baby face. So that's how I see it going. It just depends. It comes down to right now, it depends on if he takes that offer or not. Right now, I'm going to assume he won't take the offer. So if he does not take it, he'll face, without a doubt, then he'll face Logan Paul. So, but part of me, honestly, I kind of thought that way. Like right now, that would probably be the situation. But I'm thinking, as good as Cody Rhodes is, I wonder if he's not going to take that offer. Because it's The Rock. We know that him and The Rock are getting along now. They're good friends, so to speak. I think he'll take The Rock's offer. As much as I hate to see him not do it, I think he'll do it. I think which will set up John Cena versus... It would set up the match between him and John Cena. It'll be John Cena versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, which would be a big match in itself. But in order to set up for it, we got to make Cody Rhodes a bad guy. So there you go, because John Cena is not going to be a bad guy, especially on his last part of the tour. So anyway, that's all I got for y'all. I'm excited for the Elimination Chamber. Like I said, I'm excited for the men's. I'm excited for the ladies. I think when it comes to the ladies' Elimination Chamber, I really don't know who's going to win. I do not think it will be Bayley. I do not think it will be Roxanne Perez, because I think those two are going to face each other later on, probably at WrestleMania. So those two, I think, because of their storyline, I think they're going to save that one. So then it becomes between Liv Morgan, I'm trying to think of her name now. But anyway, Alexa Bliss, Liv Morgan. We've got 2 more. Oh, goodness. But at any rate, I'll have them all over here because my brain. Because I know Raquel got out. She's not in it. So we don't have to worry about Raquel. Although I think Raquel will still interfere somehow. I think her and Dirty Dom will interfere at some point. So I'm kind of leaning towards Liv Morgan winning it because I think she'll have help in the Judgment Day. I'm not a fan of one. I don't want to see a rematch between her and Mommy, but I think that's what they're going to go for. I think Liv Morgan is going to win it because she's on her tour of trying to take all the ladies' titles. So somehow I see her facing Mommy at WrestleMania in a rematch, and we'll see what happens there. But I hope not, but I see it happening. Personally, I think it would have been better to see Io Sky versus Mommy at WrestleMania. That would have been a bigger match, I think. They could have really sold that because they haven't fought each other in 5 years since, they haven't fought each other since the days when they were in NXT. And because of that, because of those vibes there and everything, I think they really could have sold that match and, had that one really play out as the big one for WrestleMania, but it is what it is. Like I said, I think they'll probably make it between them and Liv Morgan, but it is, yeah. Those are my predictions, though, for the Elimination Chamber. I may be wrong. Oh, and then I forgot. We got a couple other matches, don't we? Besides those 2. We've got Sami Zayn taking on Kevin Owens. I think Sammy's going to win it. I'm hoping Sammy wins it, and I'm thinking he's going to win it. So we'll see how that goes. Cody Rhodes, I think he's going to accept The Rock's deal. Because like I said, that was set up between him and CM Punk. I mean, not CM Punk, but him and John Cena. That would be a big, epic match to see those two go after each other. So I think that's what they're trying to set up right now. So it would definitely be interesting. That, and right now on SmackDown, if you've been watching, I think they're trying to portray the Tribal Chief as a babyface now, and the original Bloodline as a babyface now. So because of that, you're going to need some more villains for SmackDown. So I could definitely see them turning Cody Rhodes to a bad guy before this is all said and done. So they need more bad guys. They've got a few, but they don't have a whole lot. So, and now it looks like they might be changing a couple people from the new Bloodline over to baby faces. So, or at least one or two. Yeah, at least one or two of them. So if they do that, I don't know. But I see. Like I said, they're going to need some more bad guys, so it would make sense. Plus, like I said, Cody Rhodes is good friends with The Rock. It would make sense. But anyway, moving on to other sports here. Talk about Mizzou. They did lose to Arkansas. I was upset about that. I can't believe they lost to Arkansas. But nevertheless, they are still ranked number 4. Well, they're still ranked. Let me put it that way. They're number 14 in the country. And where's KU at? They're not ranked. KU is not ranked. I don't know how often this has ever happened where Mizzou is in the rankings and KU isn't. But, yeah. Mizzou is number 14 and KU is not ranked. So, there's that. the end of an era for KU, maybe. But at any rate, so Missouri is also ranked 5th in the Southeastern Conference right now. They did lose to Arkansas, like I said, 110-98, but they bounced back and beat South Carolina. I believe that was Tuesday night or Wednesday night. But anyway, they beat South Carolina 101-71, so kind of gave South Carolina a beating there. Caleb Grill ended that game with 22 points. Anthony Robinson, the second, had 14 points. And Tony Perkins and Mark Mitchell each had 13 points in that game. So they did a really great job of answering the call against South Carolina. And then tonight they got Vanderbilt to deal with. So, which that score will already be done by the time this thing uploads, so I do apologize. But but Saturday Missouri faces Vanderbilt. We'll see how that goes. And in Boston, the Celtics are 42-18 right now. They are 7.5 games back from the Cavaliers. They did get the win Sunday against New York Knicks. Good game, but then they lost the last two games. They won against the New York Knicks, and then they won against Toronto Raptors. Then they lost the last two games. I'm not sure what's going on. They lost to the Pistons 117-97. Well, I kind of do, but anyway, they lost to the Pistons 117-97, and then they lost to the Cleveland Cavaliers 123-116 at one point, and that was the last game, was against the Cavaliers. At one point they were up, which was last night or Friday night. They were up 22 points against the Cavs, but the Cavs came back from behind. But one thing to take note of is that Holiday and Porzingis are both out right now with injuries, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, they are out right now for Boston. So, and those guys are big playmakers for the Celtics. So I imagine that's my key takeaway from that game is if those two guys would have been in the lineup, definitely if they were in the lineup against the Cavaliers, I think Boston would have won that game easily. They were already up by 20. I don't see if those guys would have been out there on the floor helping out the Celtics. I think it would have been a completely different. I don't look for the Cavaliers to make that comeback with those guys out there. So, but nevertheless, Donovan Mitchell for the Cavs, he was a big playmaker for the Cavs. He got 41 points in that game. Also, Evan Mobley. He had a double-double in that game, 17 points and 12 rebounds. So, for the Cavaliers. But Jason Tatum had 46 points for the Boston Celtics and 16 rebounds, so he got a double-double. And then Jaylen Brown had 37 points in that game. So, I mean, statistically, Boston should have won it. And like I said, they were up by 20 points. They just didn't finish. But with missing a couple of their key guys, I can kind of understand that. I think they'll bounce back. I'm not taking too much from that game. Like I said, I would if Boston was healthy going out and into that game, but they're facing a Celtics team with a couple guys out. So, and we know that they're going to face each other later on down the road in the tournament. So, in which case, I definitely see Boston taking that. So, I'm not worried about that game at all. Of course, Boston has a game on Sunday against the Nuggets. We'll see what happens there. But I'm not too worried about the Boston Celtics. I know they'll bounce back, especially as soon as they get their everybody gets healthy again. They'll be on the warpath again. So, KC Mavericks, our hockey team, they're 35-13-4 on the season. They are first place in the Western Conference still first place. They play the Wichita Thunder Saturday night. They lost to their last game. They did lose against the Utah Grizzlies 3-2, and they ended that series in a 1-1 tie. It was just a 2-game series, but before that, they did take 3 games against the Allen Americans. So I'm not too worried. Like I said, despite their last loss, I'm not worried about the Mavericks either. They're doing really great right now. Caden Barchard, he has 57 points on the year. Max Andreev, he has 46 points on the year, and then KC Carew, he has 44 points. So I'm really not worried about the Mavericks. I think they'll be just fine. However, their mother team, as I call them, the Seattle Kraken, they're not doing so well. They're still second to last in the division. They're 25-31-4. They lost their last 2 games. Lost to the Lightning 4-1, and then lost to the St. Louis Blues 7-2. They play tonight against the Canucks, but I don't. Like I said, I'm not really too focused on the Kraken though. They're not doing so hot. Now for the final part of my video for the weekend. Before I get everything uploaded, I did have a taste test, and I was saying about that, and then so this will be my last bit since I've already did my top 10 list, which was for the award show, and of course my top 10 will be for the next award show. So there you go. But at any rate, here's the taste test that I have. We have the Cheez-Its Duos, and we have pesto and Rosalia. But anyway, we've got that going on. And Angela's already got into the bag, and she's already tried it. So this is her opening up. So I have not tried these yet. They are a duo. They're in together, so I don't have no idea which one's which. I guess I kind of do. I'm guessing we have the pesto here with some green on it. I don't know if y'all can tell. But anyway, well, I wiped it off. But anyway, here we go. Some with some green on it. And then we've got the other. So, anyway. It's supposed to be like a pizza type taste, I think, was the idea. Putting them together like pizza. I can definitely taste some garlic and stuff. Some cheese. So it definitely has like the Italian taste to it. I can definitely see that. Pretty good. Not gonna lie, pretty darn good. Pretty darn good. I'm waiting to get done, so, and I hope it don't bother y'all about my chewing them. I apologize if it does, because I know these got a crunch to them. But these are really good. I think I'm going to give them an 8 out of 10, because I can't stop snacking on them once I started. These are really good, though. I definitely give them an 8. I'm going to give them a 9 out of 10. Give them a 9 out of 10. Really good. It makes really good snack food. Definitely ones, like I said, once you start, you can't really stop eating. So that I like that. and snack food. So be sure to give these a try if you haven't already. Try these. These are really good. I'm not endorsed by anybody that I do taste tests for, by the way. I just see it. It looks different, and I try it. So, especially when it's got this news thing on it. So, really good, though. I like them. So, on that note, that's all of the video for this weekend. I hope you all enjoyed it. And be sure to check out my taste test videos and my questions of the day, my Missouri history videos throughout the week, as I throw them in a little bit here on this video. And yeah, and also my tarot card video, you can check them out as well. And be sure to check out Martha Maynor. I'm mentioning him now. I usually mention him somewhere during the video when I'm doing my shopping, but I'm mentioning him now. So be sure to check out Martha Maynor. He's got some really cool shit too. Cool videos. He's got some really cool videos too. So check him out. And yeah, that's all I got for y'all for now. Hope y'all liked the video. Peace out, and I'll see you on the next one. And Elimination Chamber, baby. Bye for now.